Hey guys, welcome back to Team Death Slinger. My name is Peter, and today I want to go over the Minervamon deck profile that I almost took to regionals. So if you saw my Minervamon deck profile video, you know I spent a really long time kind of cooking the deck and making sure it was something that I would be proud to take to regionals. This version of the deck is kind of something I developed side by side with it, just because I had some weird ideas about Regulusmon and Minervamon, and I did not take this version to regionals. So in this video, I want to go over the deck list and then maybe talk about a little bit why I didn't do that. So, starting with the eggs, we have 4 copies of BT3 DemiMeramon. On deletion, trigger draw 1, then trash 1. We have this because we have less discard outlets and we need a way to get Merva and our level 4s in trash. So that is the function of this egg. Then we're going to go 4 copies of BT11 Ignite. It's mandatory for the Merva combo, so we run it at 4. The inheritable will gain us a memory back when we play a Digimon by an effect, and then when attacking, we can delete a Digimon to pop an enemy's Digimon, which is nice. It doesn't come up too often. Then we go 1 copy of BT3 Gazimon. This is just going to stop memory gain effects. 1 copy of Psychemon to stop players from reducing play costs. Then 4 copies of LM-Gammamon. So when an effect deletes one of your other Digimon, you can digivolve into a card with Gammamon in its text in your trash without paying the cost, and the on-deletion inheritable will play as a hero. The tamer part of it is kind of more important because we want to be able to get the right sources under our stack to do Minervamon shenanigans. But if we ever calling, and because we get a lot of extra bodies on board, this can go into Gulus and sometimes into Regulusmon, depending on how weird your stack is, for free, which is really, really nice. So 4 of this is mandatory. The whole system just doesn't work without this card. Then we go 2 copies of Raremon. We do need filtering, we need draw power, so we run this at 2. The when attacking comes up sometimes, but mostly we're doing this as an on-play effect. 2 copies of Dobermon X. On play, we can give something Retaliate. When digivolving, draw 1, trash 1. And the inheritable will give us a memory when we play a Digimon by an effect. We have this at 2 because we need just enough Retaliate bodies to make the Anubismon part of the deck work. And this inheritable will synergize really well with that. 4 copies of Gulu's Gammamon. This is kind of the reason why I had this kind of crackhead idea. So end of attack, by deleting this Digimon, you can delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to the deleted Digimon's DP, and then on deletion play a Gammamon from your trash, suspended without paying the cost. So the Regulusmon inheritable will let us have the text of all of our Gammamon cards underneath, which means with this card, we can give Minervamon the ability to delete itself at the end of attack to pop an opponent's Digimon. And the reason that's important is that Minervamon suffers a lot from the fact that if you go into Minervamon and you cannot delete it on the same turn, you are suffering. You just really don't do anything. So this was a way to allow my Minervamon to be a legitimate boss monster. Also, having it play out a Gammamon when it dies is really nice because it's an extra body, and it means we can be aggressive early by going into the Gammamon on top of the DemiMeramon, and then going into Gulus, and now a really basic stack is we'll be able to swing a check with the Gulus, draw a card, trash a card, play a hero, and then play out the Gammamon. So that feels really nice as a whole. Then we go 2 copies of the Raid Retaliate Saberdramon. We are playing Anubis and Merva, so having a Raid Retaliator is just kind of mandatory. It's going to help us get over things that the rest of the deck can't deal with. 1 copy of Lucemon, just because we are playing Minerva. This comes up sometimes. It'll pop a level 6 or pop a Tamer, which is just really fantastic. 2 copies of Regulusmon Ace. It is a Blast Evo, and then on play when digivolving, trash a card in your hand. Then you can place 1 card with Gammamon in its text from your trash as the bottom source, and then when an effect adds a Digivolution source to this Digimon, delete a level 4 or lower, then you can play a level 4 or lower. So we use this to delete one of our opponent's level 4 or lowers, and then we get a body out of it. It kind of synergizes with our Ignite and Dobermon X inheritables to gain us memory, and it helps us build our board a little bit wider. So this is a fantastic card to fill in that extra 2 ultimate slot. Then we go 4 copies of the RB1 Regulusmon. When digivolving, when attacking, trash a card with Gammamon in its text in your hand. One of your Digimon gains. On deletion, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level until the end of your opponent's turn. And then all turns, the Digimon gains all effects of cards with Gammamon in its names in this Digimon's Digivolution cards. The inheritable is the same. So the ideal stack that I wanted to build with this deck was having all the Gammamon cards underneath this and be able to, in the same turn, get into the Regulusmon, get into the Minervamon, and swing, delete yourself. Now we're talking about deleting your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level, deleting one Digimon whose DP is less than Minervamon's DP, and then doing your Merva combo after the fact You can potentially play out a Hiro and a Gamamon off the same stack. I mean, we're just getting like 4 bodies off of one swing. What wound up happening in testing is that I would just always be like 1 memory short of making that full combo happen, and more often than not, this just wound up in raising. And then really what we're doing is putting Minervamon on top after we promote and swinging. And that's not bad because we can still self-pop Minerva, but we get a lot of awkward stacks here because if we have Regulus, he costs 4 to Evo on anything that is not this Gamamon. So let's say we get a stack that's like Ignite Dober, we're kind of in an awkward spot if we don't get this 2 Regulus Ace. And seeing those stacks just kind of didn't feel good. So that was kind of the first hiccup I had with the deck. Then we have the 3 copies of Minerva, which is our combo piece, Retaliate, and when an opponent plays a Digimon, you can play a level 4 or lower purple Digimon card from your trash without paying its play cost. No on-plays activate. On deletion, play a level 5 or a Merva if your opponent has 2 or less Digimon. Then Merva, you can play a level 4 or lower Digimon or a level 4 Crossheart from trash without paying cost. And then if you Digicross, you add 1 to that, so you play out 2 bodies. And then everything with Retaliate gets Russian Blocker. So ideally, we're getting the Minervamon on top and then bringing out a Merva as a result. 1 copy of Anubis, just because it is so broken that I felt it was appropriate to run it. Whenever you run Merva as just part of your combo, you should have this at 1 because the potential to play Merva for 2 every turn until this gets removed is just incredibly strong. 1 copy of Ruin Mode just because it was the best purple top end. 2 Back for Revenge. This synergizes really well with the purple Gamamon engine, and if we have this when we swing our Minerva, we're potentially popping 2 bodies, getting Minerva back, getting a Gamamon out of it, getting a Tamer, getting Merva, getting 2 more bodies. So we expand our stack from 1 body to 5 with this 2-cost option, which is just really, really, really insane. It's just really good. Crimson Blaze does just kill you, and Death X feels really bad. So that was kind of another hiccup that we were encountering there. Also, I want to mention, Back for Revenge with Ruin Mode is insane. I did lock somebody down in testing for like 3 straight turns with that combo, because if you Back for Revenge before you swing with Ruin Mode, well, guess what? It's going to pop a body, and then it's going to come back, and you have -5, -5, he comes back, -5, you know, like, what do you do about that? 1 Calling, because it's a sack outlet, and it gets its pieces back. 1 Pandemonium Flame. I feel like you could drop this for a Crimson Blaze, for a Death X of your own, for a Gallantmon, but I really, really, really wanted to make sure I always had a sack outlet when I wanted it, so we slotted the 1 Pandy Flame. Then two purple memory boosts and the 4 wisdom trainings, because that is what I like for searching. I had 1 Hiro. This Hiro is actually really important because it is a memory setter, which makes a lot of our plays much more possible. And then when we attack with the level 5 or higher, we can gain 2k DP, and that's significant with Minervamon because this is an 11k body. When you swing and you get 2k DP, you go up to 13, which is generally about as tall as non-boosted Megas sit. So now our Minervamon can pop just about any level 6 on the board after its attack if it lives the check, which is just kind of a really important jump to be able to make. Then I took 2 copies of the RB1 Hiro. Start a main, you can place 1 card with Gamamon in its name. From your hand as one of your Digimon's bottom Digivolution cards, gain a memory and draw 1, and then your turn when you Digivolve into a Gamamon, you can gain 2k DP. The first effect is more important because it offered stack fixing. So if we don't get the Gamamon in our stack, but we do have this Regulusmon, well, we just tuck this underneath, and now our Minervamon should always be able to have this end of attack trigger, which is really, really important because that is our self-sack ability. Or if we had the Gulus underneath and we did not have the Regulus, like we went into Regulus Ace, we can tuck this underneath, but we kind of don't want to do that anyways because we don't want to pay the overflow penalty on the Regulus Ace when we suicide Minervamon. So that's why that card is at 2. It is important to see and get on board. Then 2 copies of Analog Youth just for the searching. So this deck did not pan out for regionals for me. It just had a lot of issues. Like I said, Crimson Blaze just absolutely bodies you. Death X bodies you. You're really, really limited in the Gamamon named cards. So this Hiro is actually really, really hard to resolve to gain the memory and draw a card. The Regulusmon is also just a little bit awkward. I mean, in testing, maybe only once got the actual combo I wanted, where I went into this, I pitched a card, I went into Minerva, and I could swing the same turn. And if, you know, it doesn't come up often that you would be able to Back for Revenge the same turn anyways, and losing out on this delete the lowest level Digimon just feels kind of bad. It feels like I'm investing a lot of cards to do not a lot. And then, like I mentioned earlier, there were a lot of the awkward stacks that I just didn't like. Like, if I wasn't seeing the Gamamon turn 1, I just did not feel good about what was going on. Like, Turn 1, Ignite into Goulous. I mean, like, I paid 3 memory to go Goulous. I'm going to swing. I'm going to lose my Gamma. Unless I draw a Gammamon to discard with the DemiMeramon effect, I'm still losing because I'm not going to get a body back and I don't have a Hiro to play. So this got a little bit awkward. Ignite into Dober X is like, okay. If you have the Blast Ace, it felt more okay, but you're still just like, it just doesn't feel fantastic. It feels like no matter what's happening, you are not getting the optimal play. And then when you do get the optimal play, I felt like it was really hard to find the pieces I needed without just hard playing the Raramon and basically burning a turn to draw 2 cards. Not having the blue Meramon, I like that I could Digivolve in raising, but I did not like how much my filtering suffered as a side effect. And that just kind of made it feel like um, some games I just didn't do anything, and I wasn't comfortable bringing a deck like that to regionals. So I still think this profile is fun. I still could recommend you try it if you have the means to like proxy it up and give it a whirl. I mean, it is fun, and when it high rolls, I mean, it high rolls, and it's tons of fun. But I just want to show you guys this profile because you know, it's topical at the moment. I mean, we've been talking about my regionals for the past week. So here you go. This is my Gammamon Minervamon profile. Give it a try. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That is it for this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.